What is up, everyone? It's Theguyhere, and welcome back to another episode of Themindhere. This is my bi-weekly podcast where I provide updates on my YouTube channel, discuss what I do behind the scenes, and talk about other things that come to mind. It also serves as a way to keep myself accountable and externally motivated to get my work done. If you like my music and videos and you want to see what I do behind the scenes, feel free to take a look at previous episodes. Welcome to all of you who are here for the first time. If you like my content and want to see more, please consider subscribing. All right, let's start this off by talking about my new song that I came out. This song, which I released sometime this week, this song is a Vocaloid cover of a Chinese folk song called Jasmine Flower. All right, so some things about this Vocaloid song. I like the outcome that came out of it. I think it does sound pretty realistic. That's mostly thanks to the engine that's behind it. I use Synthesizer 5 Studio, and how they have the voice banks and all that set up, it sounds really realistic right off the bat, so I have to give attributions to that. However, I think the tuning went well, pretty well. I would like to work on a little more of bringing some life into the voice, because although it sounds realistic, it doesn't sound passionate enough, and I would like to have more variation in there. So in order to do that for the next Vocaloid song I would be looking into, I'd first look into some basic vocal coaching and some other things online just about how people normally sing better. And using that knowledge, I could maybe apply that into tweaking some of the settings and the tuning in the Vocaloid song. Another thing about this song, I noticed afterwards, after I finished the mixing process, that there were, and some of my friends brought this up too, that I went to peer review with, there was a lack of a high end in the song. That was not intentional. I totally neglected that during the arrangement process, but since I was almost done with that, I didn't really want to disrupt the sort of feeling I had with another instrument, and that would just add more time and complexity to it. So I decided to just leave the high end a little off in there, so you won't hear that much of the high end. However, in order to make that somewhat intentional, what I did was, for the art, for the thumbnail cover of the song, I decided to remove some of the yellow in the palette. So there was no yellow in the palette. If you look at the thumbnail, it's all blues and some reds. It's mostly that color, and it's night. It's sort of a nighttime, so I can get away with that lack of yellow, and it can come off as sort of a cooler piece there. So in order to reflect that lack of high end, which would be the more brighter sounding, the brighter looking colors in this case, to reflect the brighter sounding parts of the song, I removed that from the art as well. That way it just sort of matched and made sure that the whole thing synergized well. So that part, it was not intentional, however, I made do with it. And that's something that you have to do with art. I think sometimes you might not intend to do something, you might have made a mistake, but it's a little too late to go back, or you just don't feel like it's something that you need to go back with. You can work with a mistake, and it might come out to something that might be just a happy accident. So that's how I did with that song. If you're interested, go ahead and check that out on my YouTube channel. And with this song done, let's talk about some of the next songs and next updates on my channel, what I have planned. With my channel, the next song I would be working on would be it's a piano piece, and I'm going to be transcribing a piece, music that someone else has made. It's called Setsuna, and it's originally an electronic piece, so I'm gonna find a way to make that more of a piano piece in a piano style. I haven't done this in a while, so this is going to be an interesting ride. I thought I'd take a little break from doing all the FL electronic stuff in FL Studio, as well as some of the Vocaloid. And also, another reason why I'm doing this is that it's a little less time consuming, and the one thing about this is that with my channel, I sort of realized that I wasn't happy with where I was going. This is just overall generally of my life, but this applies to what I'm going to be doing with my channel. So I wasn't happy with the progress I was making. It was sort of linear. It wasn't increasing at a rate that I would have liked it to. So I've decided to take a look into what really interests me, what I really valued, and what I want to do and go from here. And I realized that in order for me to improve exponentially and go on, I need to start looking into some other outside concepts and then bring that onto YouTube in a way so that I am learning, but also hopefully teaching you guys some of the concepts and we can learn and grow together. So I am looking into systems thinking. This is a new concept of just modeling the entire world out there in a way that's non-linear and takes into fact some of the dynamic aspects of systems as well as some of the counterintuitive aspects. So with that, hopefully I'll be able to combine that and create something in the Think series that will create something that should both help me learn what I'm learning and make sure that I keep myself accountable with this, but also hopefully something that can bring you along in the journey. So look forward to that. I did talk about this in a previous episode, but I'm going to be changing the structure from what I had before. This series was something that I planned a little while back, but I left it off to the side just because I didn't really feel like the way I presented it there was good, so I'll make sure to change that up and present it in a finer detail. All right, with that, let's move on to an AMA, and this time we do have an AMA. This question is from Alfred Prose, so thank you so much. Alfred Prose asks, so he's going to have a midterm soon. He's going to be in college having midterm tests, so he's asking about me, if I'll have midterm soon, and if so, then good luck. So it's a fairly simple one right here. Yes, I will. I am a college student, so I had midterms, sort of midterms, as in like, yes, it's somewhat in the middle of the term, not like the direct middle or like bisecting the term in terms of time. But yes, I had exams, and I have another one in the next week. So it's sort of spread out. So it's like 2 exams before the final. So it's sort of midterm, I guess, but yes, I did have midterms, so I've passed that, and now it's just some quizzes and some exams before we hit the final midterm and the finals for the classes. And along the way, of course, there will be projects that I have to do, so those things will eat up to my time, projects and just classes I have to attend to, but hopefully I'll use my spare time to dump it into some research and then getting it into a nice video. And how I'm planning to approach working with these 2 projects with the systems thinking presentation as well as the new transcription, what I'm going to do is when I feel like I'm being productive or I can be productive, I'm going to be looking into systems thinking and combining those ideas. But when I feel like I need a break, I'll take a break, step back, and maybe do some transcribing. Something a little more on the creative side, but something that I might enjoy better. So there's that. That's the plan that I'm going to bring forward. And of course, that requires execution. That's why I have this channel here, so that I can hold myself accountable, so that when I tell you something, that I feel a little more pressure to do so. So now that I've told you, I'm going to do my best to get that out. I should have, by the next episode, I'll probably talk a little bit about some of the time schedule. With this stuff, it's a little flexible just because some of my classes don't even have things planned out for the weeks in advance. So that is a little bit in flux, and of course there are other situations that come up, but hopefully I should have some kind of schedule for this out by the next episode. So look forward to that. And if you guys are interested in contributing to these episodes, then feel free to head on to my YouTube channel where I have the video form of this podcast out, and leave a comment down below the most recent episode about anything you want to ask. And if there are multiple questions, I'll pull one at random and answer it in the next episode. All right, that's it. That's all we have for today. So thank you guys for listening and watching. I really appreciate all you guys for your support, and well, good luck with everything that you have, and hopefully you guys are staying safe. Take care, and I will see you in the next episode.